Hi guys, and a very warm welcome onto this video series. Now in this video series we're going to look at some of the best kind of music theory hacks that we have available to us to compose our music. Now some people will be classically trained, be able to play instruments, etc., and composing music may come easier to them than maybe people that don't have any classical training or come from music production more from a producer or DJ kind of background. But luckily, these days we have tools available to us that allow us to kind of make up for some of the shortfalls in our knowledge or our skill sets. And that's what we're going to look at in this video series. So we're going to look at having ways of making beats, composing chords, composing melodies, and composing bass lines. So we're going to look at this in two ways. First of all, we're going to take the a cappella and we're going to use the Captain Chord Suite to build a track around this a cappella. And then later on, we're actually going to work with some audio and we're going to use some of our tools to be able to work out what the MIDI notes are that correspond to the audio, allowing us to layer things up and remix things essentially. So what we're looking to get out of this is a way to use the tools that we have available to us to build track ideas, even if you're not particularly confident as a composer, and also ways in which we can take audio files, work out what the notes are, and use them to build new ideas. Okay, so in this first video, we're going to have a little listen to the a cappella, and we're also going to work out the key that we're going to work in with the a cappella. Okay, so the vocalist is Andre Espol. You can listen to his music here on Spotify. I've done quite a few tracks with him under my Get to Know alias. We've got a release here that we did together. And he's a fantastic vocalist that I've worked with quite a few times. Let's have a listen to the a cappella. So this has been processed quite a lot, so it should kind of be ready to go, I'd say.
Glad you found out you're winning, getting down in the low lights. Yo, babe, hit the wall and feel alright. Why don't you get down, get busy? Oh, you got to be free. Alright. You ever felt open in your body? Just what you need, music. Just come on now, it's alright together. You captivate love, hold on, and now you've got it. You captivate love, groove on, now you want everything. I think you feel that you got it, it's something real. Oh baby, I want you to show me the way, get down. Alright, don't you want to show me the way to stand up for our love? Yeah, our love, the good things I love. Our love, this is our...
So you get the picture. So if you like the sound of Andre's voice, make sure you go and check him out. So it's Andre Espol, as I said. So what we're going to do first of all, we're going to have a look at calculating what our key is. So I'm going to be using the Mixed In Key Studio Edition. Now this is a tool that allows you to play audio through. It's dead simple, and it will basically tell you what the overall key signature it thinks it is. So it comes from the technology which is used in Mixed In Key for harmonic DJ mixing. So it allows you to calculate what key the different tracks in that you're going to be using in your DJ sets, which means it makes it easier to actually put music together. When I DJ, I use it. I play a lot of kind of old school music and disco edits and stuff like that. And often they're very musical. So if you get the keys wrong, and you know you're kind of in the middle of a club and there's a lot of people there, it can be quite embarrassing because obviously there's two different clashing tracks. Ideally you'd want to do this by ear, but sometimes, you know, in the heat of the moment it can be difficult. So this is a really interesting and useful tool because it means that you can actually match up your tracks by what key they're in. And they've now ported this technology over to our DAW so we can use the same kind of mindset and apply it to audio to work out what the key is. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to work out what the a cappella key signature is. So let's play.
Glad you found out you're winning, getting down in the low lights. Yo, babe, hit the wall and feel alright. Why don't you get down, get busy? Oh, you got to be free. Alright. You ever felt open in your body? Just what you need.
Okay, so you can see that it thinks it's A minor. Let's just switch it on to keys.
Music, just come on now. It's alright together. You captivate love, hold on, and now you've got it. You captivate love, groove on.
So it says there's a 25% chance it's in A minor. Now that'll depend on the source material. Now this track came from a track I came up with a couple of years ago, and the chord progression I used was quite a kind of ambiguous chord progression. And therefore, Andre sung something over the top, which was maybe not as obviously within one key as another vocal would be. But it can clearly see that it thinks it's 22% A minor, so we can go with A minor as our key signature. But we also have an alternative here of E minor, which is 13% E minor. And what it's actually doing is working out what notes are being sung and how likely is it that those notes are going to appear in different keys. And it's obviously 22% in A minor. So that's what we're going to use as our key signature. And we're going to use that information when we actually use the Captain Chord Suite to start calculating chord progressions and different rhythms and bass lines and melodies, etc. But what we're actually going to do in the next video is create a beat using Captain Beat. And that's going to be the foundation of what we're going to lay on the top. Okay, so to recap, in this video, we've introduced a series, played through the a cappella, and then we've used Mixed in Key, Studio Edition to go through and work out what key signature the a cappella is in. Remember, there's two views here. We can look at the individual notes, or alternatively, we can look at keys, and you can see it's minor and major, so it gives us kind of readings for key signatures. So let's try again just to make sure.
Glad you found out you're winning, getting down in the low lights. Yo, babe, hit the wall and feel alright. Why don't you get down, get busy? Oh, you got to be free.
And you can see that it's working out the key signature that fits the notes that are being sung the best is A minor. And that's what we're going to use to compose this idea. Okay, so now we've got our a cappella key signature sorted out. In the next video, we're going to make a beat using Captain Beat.